Okay, got my pen back. I don't know if I showed you this yet, but probably not. Bought an electric bike. It's a folding electric bike. So I'll be able to put this on the on the boat, take it with me on the boat, and zip around with electric power. Yeah, works pretty well. I got the batteries out of it now. It's getting cold at night, so keep them inside for charging, storage. But that, like I said, that'll go on the boat with me someday. If I ever get the boat done, that is. Yeah, fighting this thing, this guy all the time. Man, what a lot of work he is. Yeah, you keep me busy, don't you? Okay, back to the boat. So, I've been working on a few things. Again, in the vein of trying to get things done before I put this, planking on the bottom and even the build stringers on the bottom. I built a box here for the main house batteries, and it's just big enough for them, so I hope I don't ever have to replace them with a different size battery. And then here I cut this out so I can have access hatches to get under here, and I'll need a bunch of access hatches, but this area here, of course, is going to be by far the biggest, most important, because I have to be able to get at the batteries here. But a problem I've got then is my stairs are going to come down and land right about in the middle here. But they will be wider than what this hatch is. So I think if I maybe just cut this hatch down the middle, and see my battery box goes here, if you can see that or not. We'll mark there and here. It's 38.5 inches between those two. So if I cut it down the middle, maybe I can still pull those panels out and set them off to whatever side. But of course there's going to be other things in here too. Planning on putting a refrigerator or a freezer down here. And that's going to be in the way of this one. And then there's going to be a settee on this side, which should be alright. That's plenty of room there. But we'll see. But anyway, so we got that. One of the problems I had here with getting this piece of plywood out, I cut it down, down its length first. So I was hoping I could pick it up and pull it out, but I put the floor in first and then put this plywood in here, and it was pretty snug. And there's also some glue on the plywood that oozed out and came in contact with this plywood down here, so that made it more difficult. Then I had two screws tacking this in, one in this corner and one in that corner. I could see the one here in this corner, but I couldn't see anything on the other side. So I had to just kind of guess, and I used a multi-tool reciprocating oscillating tool to cut the screw off, and then I pulled it out after that. And this one here I got out from up here, and then the other problem was I had driven screws for this board here into the. They wound up going into that plywood a couple, 4 or 5 places. So that was preventing me from getting those out of there too. So it was a bit of a job to get this out. I thought I was going to have to destroy this piece of plywood to get it out, but I did manage to get it out. And it's okay. So in here, I've been working on the water system. And so you can see what I got going here. The 3 water tank lines coming up and an extra. And then it comes from whichever one you choose, comes into a little strainer here that goes into this pump. Comes out of the pump and goes to a small 2-gallon pressure tank. Then also out through a whole house filter. And then this will go out to the rest of the boat. Now I intended to go 3/4 inch here. But it turned out I bought the wrong valve. I bought a valve with a 1/2 inch PEX under, which probably is fine, but I've got some 3/4 inch PEX hose I bought, so well, we'll see. But for now, it's 1/2 inch coming out, and I just hooked it up to a garden hose down there, so I can actually draw water out of here and use it in the shop. Might as well get the system working and use it. I had a leak here where this brass screws into the plastic. And then I had a leak here, I think, where the steel screws into the brass. I was pretty impressed with this Blue Monster. Or at least I thought I was. But I don't know. Especially when you're working with dissimilar materials, I think you run into issues with anything. So I don't know. We'll see how that works. I redid this one, tightened it just a little more, and we'll see how that goes. And I don't know if there's a leak here or not. It doesn't feel wet now, but you can see there's a little water that was coming down here. And we'll see if there's any other leaks anywhere. Yeah, I don't know. Got a little battery pack to power it here. Actually, this is a pretty good sized battery pack, but anyway, yeah, it's working anyway. Everything's pump is running and turning off when it comes up to pressure, and the tank here appears to be holding water and a little bit of volume for using in between. All the hose clamps on this flexible hose have sealed up. I haven't noticed any leaks there at all. So the PEX, I had a little trouble with some of these PEX lines going onto these brass fittings. They were a bit oversized. I couldn't get the PEX, even after expanding them, I couldn't get the PEX on, so I had to cut the pipe off to get it back off there again, and then trim the hose just a little bit shorter. And then I wound up using a larger tool. I used the 3/4 inch tool, just the tip of it, to expand it out just a little more to get these on there. So we'll see how that works once I pressurize the system again. But other than that, everything is working fine. I need to leave myself enough room back here for the water maker, which I'm not sure how long those elements are, but I got, I'll have this, like this here is going to get angled up there, so I'll have more room here too than what we're even seeing. So I should have a good 5 feet here for a filter element or elements, and then filters and pumps, and obviously need to be a raw water intake somewhere and coming up through the floor here too. But yeah, we'll see about that. And I don't know where that's going to go because there's a battery right there. Yeah, there might be enough room to get a intake there. We shall see. And like I said, I got that other fuel tank, which of course we can't really install that because it's going to go on deck. It's going to be one of the last things to get installed. I may bring it up here and just set it up there though, and get it out of the way and get some of the plumbing finalized, because we are going to want to run this engine at some point too. I don't want to let it sit forever without running. So I would guess maybe next summer we could start the engine. Yeah, something like that. But otherwise, everything is working all right on the fuel system. No issues there. And like I said, there's the start of the water system. I don't know what else I've been up to. You noticed I painted the rest of these beams in the engine room. Screwed the floor down here. Told you about this. Got the battery box built for the house batteries. That'll be 4 300 amp hour batteries. So that's going to be 1200 amp hours at 12 volts. It's about 15 kilowatt hours of storage, so that's what I use in my garage system, which doesn't per se run the house, but it runs everything else on the acreage out here, including the air conditioning on my house. And those solar panels that you're just looking at earlier out there, those are the ones that power that system with those lithium ions. And then I've got another set of solar panels that you can't see from here, I don't think. Maybe I can get you around the corner and you can see some of them anyway. Yeah, off in the distance there. Can you see that? Where are they? There, I guess. Over there. 2 sets of solar panels. Then there's actually a few more on the ground mounted that I had extras. Yeah. Actually, you can maybe just see them. See them in there. Edge on. But those are the ones that power the house, the system for the house. It's not quite as much. There's a couple thousand watts there, 2,500 watts there, 3,500 watts out here. And I've got regular lead acid batteries, like golf cart batteries for that house system. And that's about 20 kilowatt hours of storage, but again, it's lead acid, so you don't actually get that out of them. I generally don't take the system below 80%. So I can get, 8 to 10 years out of those batteries if I baby them that way. Once in a while, I might drop below, 77, 78, 79%, but very, very rarely. In reality, most of the time, they never drop below 90%. And then with this system out here now, running the air conditioning, this was a hot summer, so I ran the air conditioning a lot, and I had to run it overnight a lot, which is unusual. I mean, yeah, there's maybe 3 weeks normally out of a summer that you have to run the AC overnight. I mean, all night, 24/7. But this year, it was almost all summer the AC had to run. So this system kept up with it just fine. I got a mini split 240 volt AC for the house. And I'm thinking about putting one of those on the boat, actually, because they're actually really efficient and they work real well. And you can heat with them too. Got heat pumps in them, so you can heat with them too. So I'm thinking that might be something I try. I've seen them put on boats. Not too many people do it, but I've seen them put on boats. And considering how much cheaper they are than regular boat AC systems, we'll see. We shall see. But anyway, so yeah, everything is solar powered out here. And I got an electric car, now an electric bike, and it's all powered from the sun. The only time I have to run the generator is when I'm running like my welder or some of these big tools. But yeah, even with running the air conditioning in the house, that lithium bank, that 15 kilowatt hour lithium bank, generally speaking, I don't think I ever ran it below 60%. Most of the time it was above 70%, in the mornings when the sun would come back up. So I don't think I ever ran it below, maybe upper 60s. So yeah, that's pretty good. And that's pretty light usage on lithium batteries too. So they should last a lot of cycles if you baby them like that. But what else have I been up to? Jeez. Did you see this? Yeah, you probably did. Made some stairs just to give me an idea what it was going to be like going up and down those. Not the final version, of course. But yeah, you've seen all this. So anyway, that's my update for, what did I say today was? October 20th.